Hello guys, welcome to part 4 of my what I'm bringing to Duck Mountain series. Again, I'll put a link to my lighter packing below so you can have a look at all this stuff, what it weighs, how the breakdown is and everything else, as I explained in my earlier videos. So this is my essentials list. This is, or not essentials, sorry, Campware. Far from essentials, Campware. So this is what makes the experience a little bit more comfortable, right? Rather than sitting on the ground or sitting on a cooler or whatever, this is where this type of stuff comes in. Getting rid of the bugs, keeping the place lit, you know, and a few key items thrown in there as well that all fit within the category. And I'll show you how. All right, so first thing, we might as well move to the biggest thing in the house, and that is one Tigris backpacking, ultralight backpacking chair. I like the one Tigris one because it's rated for a heavier weight, and although I'm not huge, terrain really influences weight distribution and everything else, and you can end up collapsing it. So the next item I'm going to show you helps solve that. So I have 4 of these. It's going to focus, and of course it's all backwards anyways, but so these are called chair buddies. There's really only one option on the market for these ultralight chairs. Oh, there's a couple options, but let's just say there's really only one cost-effective option. Remember the triangle? There's really only one cost-effective option, and it's really not all that cost-effective. It's the sand pad. It's like a mesh nylon that fits on the bottom of the chair, prevents it from sinking in soft ground. Unfortunately, it's not very durable, and I do a lot of my camping in the woods, sometimes in sand, a lot of small rocks, stuff like that. That thing will get shredded. So what I did is I went online and I found these. They're called chair buddies. Now, not meaning to insult anyone's intelligence, but what these do is they sit in a little socket of your chair. They clip on the leg like that, and now you have sand pad for your chair. If anyone wants more information about where I got these and stuff like that, just let me know. Alright, next thing goes right along with the chair. Nothing is worse at camp than having all your little bibs and bobs and stuff and nowhere to put them, right? You don't want to constantly load them up, put them away, load them up, put them away, take them out, put them away, you know, stuff like that. So it's nice to have a place to put them. So this I picked up as a splurge to myself, and it turned out that I absolutely love it, and I consider it one of my favorite niche pieces of camping kit. This is the Palmolive titanium gimbal table. Okay, so this is a nice big thick sheet of titanium with all these little shapes cut in it for you to put all kinds of different stuff in it. The benefit, one thing it comes with, to add it all off, is it comes with, like you saw in my kitchen video, 2 of the Palmolive stainless steel shot glasses. Now the cool thing about this is they sit in there nice and tight, and you know what? They're not gonna tip if something happens, and they're restrained and they're out of the way. Cool. But yeah, excellent. I mean, you could use it as a fire grill if you really wanted to, but the pole has a spike in the bottom that you unscrew, put it in. This is a gimbal head, so it's got a little ball. It flops around, so what you can do is at uneven terrains, you can then flatten out the table so it's always perfectly level. This also works in conjunction with my next piece of kit. Remember what I said, try to get your kit that you can do multiple uses out of. That's how you get more economy out of it. It's going to be my GoPro. So hopefully this series of videos is going to be the last ones that you're going to see shot on my cell phone. And I'm going to be able to start playing with a GoPro and start doing video editing and title cards and all this, star wipe and transitions. And so yeah, you're going to start seeing more of these, more video coming out on my GoPro. I just got to get a few things for it to make it field ready. Head mount. But cool thing is that screw thread is the same as that screw thread, which means I can screw that onto that, and I can use it like a selfie stick gimbal mount, plus a tripod at all different angles, or a unipod at all different angles, monopod, without having to pack in a separate tripod. All right, next up, this wasn't originally for camping. I bought this mostly for my house and in my garage, but you know what? It's perfect. This is a Milwaukee battery-operated portable trouble light. It'll go forever. This is a battery I have for the piece of equipment. This is a 4-amp battery. I'm also going to bring the 2-amp battery. This thing goes forever. It can use the same batteries as other pieces of equipment. Not only that, double up the usage. It can be used as a USB charger for the cell phone, the GoPro, and a few other pieces of equipment. Speaking of that piece of equipment, this is my Garmin. That's what I'm going to be using primarily for GPS navigation. It's the first generation Garmin, so it's now about 3 or 4 years old. Still rocking it like the day it was born. Perfect. As well as my headlamp. This is done by BioLite. It's a nice headlamp. It's really bright. It's really fairly light. The battery pack kind of makes it heavy, but it's also rechargeable. And it's super bright, strobe, all that stuff. Moving right along. Might as well go with these, logical progression. I'm bringing some battery banks with me to charge all this stuff. I'm not carrying the weight. The quad is, so you know what? For the pound or two that these things are, I don't mind carrying them. Next up, compass. Silva compass, right? Standard reflecting mirror style compass. Anytime you spend time in the backwood, you should bone up on your map and compass skills. You should become pretty intimate with how to at least shoot a bearing, determine distance, all that's good stuff on a map. That's an important skill to learn. I've got the actual map for Duck Mountain, the topo map coming. It's just in the mail right now. But compass. Leatherman multi-tool. This is the Signal. Not a bad multi-tool. It's geared towards the survivalist, bushcrafty, camping enthusiast. The tool set is geared towards that, so it's got a lot of useful tools on it. Another ferro rod, so it's always good to have more than one, right? 2 is 1, 1 is none. And it works, it does double duty as part of my ATV kit. Work gloves, not much to say about that. But leather, always leather, or at least leather palms, leather fingers. Next thing, in Canada, when we finally do have our 6 weeks of nice weather, the mosquitoes and the black flies and everything else tend to come out in force, so especially in the woods. I started off with a simple thermocell, just like everyone has, you know, the kind that you clip to your vest or whatever, and it takes the butane cartridges and the pads. It worked. It was great. But the problem I always found is you always went through either more pads than you did butane cartridges, or more butane cartridges than you did pads. And you were constantly buying the expensive refill packs to get more of one or the other. So you always end up with a surplus of pads or cartridges, and they really don't last that long. So what I went and found a thermocell that fits on top of, again, double duty. It fits on top of an isobutane canister. Come on now, don't be difficult. So yeah, it's got the, goes right on the isobutane canister, and it'll run for about 4 or 5 hours on half a canister or whatever. You actually have to go through your pads more than fuel, which is nice. So it's always continuously keeping you covered. It's really good inside of a tent. Beyond that, and the refill packs that are sold, you can get away with just the pad refill packs now. So it's cheaper. And added benefit, the isobutane canister. It's the same one I use for my gas burner that I bring in my cook kit as my backup stove, just in case of fire ban or laziness or whatever. So the good thing is it runs off the same fuel, and you really never go through a full canister of these in a trip or two. You're always left with partials, and at least with having 2 devices that run off the same one, you can get full burn out of the can. Less waste. All right, I'm already up to 11 minutes. I'm gonna very quickly bash on the next couple of points, and then we're gonna try to sum this up pretty quick. All right. Next up is my fire kit and my admin pouch. Okay, fire kit. Again, I'll blow all this stuff up later, but I have lighters in here, flint steel char cloth, jute twine to make a bird's nest, a big slab of golden birch bark that I use for also making fires, pocket bellows, ferro rod. This is my second ferro rod, not my first one. My first one that I keep on my person is my using one. This is my backup. I have needles for doing all different types of repair. And all of the smaller stuff fits inside of this admin pouch. Small, packable. And finally, this one actually deserves its own video. And for the sake of talking points, and just to impress upon any new people, I'll do a full video on this. This is my first aid kit. This is one of the most important pieces of kit that you can take into the wood with you, on top of anything that I've just shown you so far. Most important piece, because this could potentially save your life. Big thing is don't go out and buy a dollar store first aid kit and think it's going to cover everything. You should tailor your training and your equipment to what you're going to face out there. And out in the woods, you think about it, you're using axes, knives, there's trees, you could have a tree, you could trip, fall, all kinds, mostly lacerations, cut yourself, the whole 9 yards, right? So you tailor your first aid kit to that. I'll show you mine in a whole video. So we're hitting the 13-minute mark. So I'm going to sum this up so that you guys can get back to the rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Remember, I appreciate you guys. You're the reason why I make these videos. Like and subscribe. If any information is useful to anyone else, send them a link. Bring them my video, or bring them to my channel. They can like and subscribe, and we can all talk about stuff in the comments. Anyways, thank you, and I will see you again. Cheers, guys.